What's going on, guys? Play by Play Gaming here, back with another Epic 7 video. Today is patch update news. Here we go. It's a super quick one. We're getting I'm the Queen of Everything side story, and it's from 9:10 all the way until 9:24. It's going to be just like every other side story. It's going to be Chloe. We're going to get a little bit of backstory from Chloe. You're going to be able to go in, get some currency, farm the highest difficulty, and then be able to get some rewards and exchange that for the Mola. I know a lot of people want Molas, and especially those epic catalysts. These mercenary medicines are hard to come by, especially the drop rate. Along with Chloe's banner, we're gonna be getting Little Queen's huge crown, and this is a brand new 5-star artifact, and it increases the damage by 32% if the enemy is granted a barrier when the caster attacks with a single attack. So I think that this might be an alternative to Daydream Joker, just because Wyvern goes into barrier, Chloe does a lot more damage, and it's game over, right? So we'll see how people test this out. Should you chase for this artifact? You don't need to. It's not limited. It's gonna be in the game, so you'll get it eventually. We're also getting Kayron's new 5-star artifact with this banner as well, and it increases evasion by 20%. And both of these are at max level. Increase evasion by 20%. Damage don't increases by 20% if the caster's health is below 25% when attacking. So it increases his evasion, and it increases the damage that he's dealing if he is below 25% health. So it can make him, I would say, pretty deadly. Not that he's not already, but I think it's might be another artifact that might be good in slot with him. We gotta see how people test him out. So like I mentioned, we're getting Chloe's rate up banner and Kayron double rate up banners. These are, I'm not gonna say must pulls, but you have two options. Chloe really opens up Wyvern 13 for you if you've still been struggling with Wyvern 13, maybe getting a debuffer on there, doing enough damage. Chloe comes in and she brings that debuff magic nail. Kayron is especially good for PvP. He is gonna be, well, right now he is one of the meta heroes that gets chosen fairly often in RTA just because of how his kit works. He can't be one-shotted because he has immortality buff, and if he's buffed, he gets an AoE on his S1. So a lot of people build him super damage dealer, and he can one-shot an entire team if you go long enough in RTA. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to think about, and then we'll go into the characters here in a bit. But Mulgore pack, it's gonna get renewed. So anyone that is going in and needing some Mulgore and you want to spend some casholas, go in and pick some up. They're also going to be refunding us the gold that any of us spent on the bulk promotion system when it was broken. So it was like costing, I think, like 2 times what it should have. So we're getting a refund. So okay, let's go one more over. Hooch's pop-up shop. He's back with a vengeance. Well, not so much. He's just back. Okay, so if you've watched any of my other videos, I did mention that in my 5 best ways to get mystic medals is Hooch's pop-up shop when he pops up. So he's not here there very often, so he didn't make it into my top 5. However, he will be having a 4 to 5-star summon ticket that you can buy for 1,200 Skystones. I do not recommend that. Molagora, yes, purchase that. I always buy the Molagora. It's just another way that you can get Molagora. It does cost 500 Skystones, but this is something that you can get again if you're doing arena. So every week, if you are in at least Challenger, you get 600 Skystones. So it's about a week's worth of Skystones. Mystic medals, you get 50 Mystic medals for 200 Skystones. So going back to Secret Shop refresh video that I did as well, if you want, you can go check that out. But based on my trial of Secret Shop refresh and based on what I've read in other players going in and doing the refresh, the average cost for 50 Mystic Metals is 200 Skystones. So if you don't feel like going in and refreshing the shop, you can just buy them here. This is just only one way for you to buy it. So the other way is going to buy a pack or refreshing the secret shop. There are a couple of other ways that you might be able to get Mystic Metals. If you're curious, go watch that video. But I definitely recommend you buying those Mystic Metals. Everything else is a skip. Okay, don't even go there. I would say at least these two. It's about 700 Skystones worth, and then you're good to go. I mean, even if you're super early game, I don't recommend this 4 to 5 star summon ticket because it's usually going to be a 4-star and it's usually going to be silk. So take that for what it is. Okay, so let's go into Chloe. So we got Chloe here. If you don't have her, I would strongly recommend that you pull for her. However, I would say you wait just a bit until a little bit before next week's patch or update, so that we can see if they're going to be dropping a new 5-star hero, which I'm pretty sure they will be. I know they mentioned that they're going to be dropping some new 3-star heroes, but they haven't mentioned new 4-stars. Well, they kind of mentioned that. We got to see if they're going to get a 5-star. All right, so Chloe, she hammers the enemy. Damage dealt is increased when the enemy is inflicted with Magic Nail. So she does more damage when the opponent has Magic Nail. So here is her S2. Inflicts Magic Nail for 3 turns. This effect cannot be resisted. So the big thing about her and what makes her perfect for Wyvern is 1, she's an ice unit. 2, she has a debuff, which is Magic Nail. Even though it's 1 debuff, it's a debuff that cannot be resisted, and it gets inflicted for 3 turns. So it's a 3-turn debuff, giving you some time to just land 1 more debuff from any of your other heroes. So if you're running Dizzy, if you're running SSB, if you're running Sigret, any of those heroes are going to give you that 1 more additional debuff. I recently got Luluka, so now I'm adding a defense break in there. So all you need is 2 or more debuffs on the Wyvern in order for it to hit your front tank. So just kind of keep that in mind. And her S3 soars into the air and attacks the enemy, stunning for 1 turn. Damage dealt is increased when the enemy is inflicted with Magic Nail. So as you can see, her S1 and her S3 deal a lot more damage when the opponent has Magic Nail. So it's like a built-in Daydream Joker. I'm not sure what the multipliers are for Magic Nail. I don't think they go over here, but it's very, very similar. I think it's like 3%. You deal 3% of the enemy's health, or is that Daydream Joker? Whatever it is, you deal a lot of damage. So if you need a Wyvern Slayer, she does really, really well, and she opens up 3-man comps just because of her Magic Nail. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. I would say kind of hold off until maybe next week, next Wednesday, to see what the new hero might be if it's being dropped, and then go ham. I'm probably gonna go for her just to try to build a 3-man comp, especially as a free-to-play team, because I want to be able to run another unit to gain EXP. So that's just me. But moving on to Kayron. Kayron, he's OP. If you're new to the game, he is not necessarily a must-have when you're first starting the game. However, right now in the meta for RTA Arena, he, I would say, is a good unit to have as an option, just because of his kit. So his kit, like I mentioned before, his S1, there's a chance to decrease hit chance when he is buffed. So when he has any kind of buff on him, his S1 turns into an AoE, which does a lot of damage. So if you're moloing him, he requires, I would say, full molas on his S1 and his S3. His S2 doesn't really need molas. It reduces the cooldown of his immortality. So that one I would say you could kind of pass. But his S3 attacks the enemy by exploding the Archdemon's might contained within the sword, increasing the attack of the caster for 2 turns. So On his S3, he gives himself a buff, which is increased attack. If he defeats an enemy with his S3, he extends all of the buffs that he has. So he actually gets immortality, meaning he can't be killed for, I think it's 1 turn from his S2. It's a passive. So if he has that on and then he goes again with his S3 and he kills someone, his passive, the unbuffable, not the unbuffable, but the immortality gets extended. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's a quick one, but I think that it'll give us some time to save up a bit for the new heroes that undoubtedly will be dropped very, very soon. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you're excited to find out a little bit more about Chloe. I haven't gone through the side story. I'm not quite sure if it's a new one or not. I think it is a new one, but I'm excited to see what goes down. Like always, thanks for watching. If you happen to like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hey, think about subscribing. It definitely helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.